Hi, this is Pastor Drew with your October 26th Keeping Connected video. This week, our pastors and some of our key lay leaders are going to be talking about stewardship and the importance of stewardship. You will also be receiving a mailing from our church that is talking about our budget and where we are financially, and it includes a pledge card for you to let us know how much you think you'll be willing to donate in the next year so that we can help in our budgeting process. There's so much uncertainty going on with COVID, and so any idea that you can give us on your estimates of giving, we would really appreciate and would help us in that process as we try to navigate these uncharted waters. So thank you for taking the time to pray about that this week and to fill that out before Sunday. We'd appreciate it. But I wanted to share with you a little bit about how I learned and grew passionate about stewardship. The first is when I was a youth. When I was a youth, like I'm sure many of our youth today, I would sit through stewardship sermons and sort of roll my eyes and doodle on the margins of my Bible and just really not really engage in that process. And then I joined the church council of my church as our youth delegate. And that was the first time I'd ever seen a budget. It was the first time I'd had a full awareness of all the things that my home church did other than youth ministry, which is pretty much the only thing that I'd experienced. And to see the breadth and depth of the ministries and to hear the stories of the lives that were impacted, I made that connection with, oh, all that's happening because of the money we have in this budget and the vision that our pastors were casting for what that money was doing. And it was a memory that I still have to this day, the importance of those numbers, not just being a budget, but really being a roadmap and how much we are able to do because of the resources that our congregation and God has entrusted to us. The second lesson I got in stewardship was when I was in Divinity School. For the 3 years I studied at Duke, I served in the Office of External Relations, which was the development office that helped fundraise for all of the initiatives of the Divinity School. So we had people coming in on a regular basis and they had large checks in their wallets or small checks in their wallets and huge smiles on their faces because they were so excited to give to the work that was going on at the Divinity School. And it was curious to me, being a relatively poor divinity student, like they could spend that money on any number of things, but they chose to invest their resources in the work of the local church and in the work that the seminary was doing to help empower and inspire and build up the future leaders of the church. And they were so passionate about that and happy to give what they could. That's what stewardship is. It's not giving out of a sense of, I have to do this, or, oh, this is important, like this is something that is just routine. We should be joyful givers, as scripture tells us. And that means that we are excited to be a part of what God's doing in our church. And friends, if you have not seen what's going on at Memorial, there is so much ministry that is being done in this pandemic. Today, we celebrated baptism of Zoe, one of our confirmands. On Sunday, we're going to celebrate the legacy of all of those pillars of the church who have gone before us and helped establish this church as the wonderful congregation that it is. And then after worship, we're going to celebrate our confirmation service and welcome in new young people into the life of this church who will continue to build on that legacy for years and years to come. And what undergirds all of that is the generosity of the people who sit in the pew, who watch online, who participate in the ministries of Memorial United Methodist. We couldn't do what we do. We couldn't transform the lives that get transformed without your generosity, without your partnering with what we're doing, without you volunteering. All of those things make up what the church is. And so I wanted to say thank you. Thank you for giving in the midst of this uncertain season. Thank you for showing up and participating in classes and in worship and allowing others to engage in that way as well. And thank you so much for taking the time this week to read the newsletter that's coming out, to pray about what you think your financial gift is going to be for the next year. Because you take that time, because you've been intentional about that, we will be able to plan and have a better understanding of where we're going to be financially over the next year. There's so many uncertainties, and we know that. But anything you can do would be greatly appreciated. So God bless you. I look forward to seeing you on Sunday, whether that is in person in Maxwell Hall, outside for backyard worship, or online on Facebook. It is wonderful to be able to see you and know that I miss you and I look forward to worshiping with you on Sunday. Take care.